Welcome back to another video. Today we are in the Open Great League and we got a different team to run. We got the Whiscash paired with the Shadow Typholsion and the Cresselia. So kind of a interesting team here. We got the Altaria to deal with here. This is not the lead that we were looking for. We're kind of weak to this Altaria. We're going to throw a little bit of a chip damage and then switch out into our Cresselia. They're going to try to throw a Sky Type to chip away at this Cresselia health. And then they swap and catch a move, trying to catch a Moonblast I'm anticipating, but we end up throwing the Future Sight anyway, so we get a huge amount of damage anyways. Now they reveal that they have Lantern and Altaria. We're just going to fire away these Grass Knots. They do decide to shield, so interesting that they are really trying to maintain alignment here. We do get to another Grass Knot. This Grass Knot here is going to get the second shield from this Lantern, and now we can come back in with our Whiscash. Whiscash potentially could get some good farm. Okay, they actually switch out back into their Altaria. Altaria here does get to the Sky Tag, which chips away at the Whiscash. We go for the Skull at this point. That's the only move that's going to be valuable. We do get the debuff, so that's important because now they're going to do less damage towards our backline Pokemon, forcing them to use some energy right here. They are going to take us out, but they're double debuffed, and we're looking to try to get it Incinerate down, and that is huge. Typhlosion getting the Incinerate down from the Altaria is going to allow us to get a ton of energy, but also avoid taking an attack from that Altaria. Here we're going to be able to get to a Blast Burn. Does this Blast Burn take out this Shadow Swampert? Boom! Yes, it does. It does roughly over 60% right there. That was close to 50 to 60% damage from a Blast Burn towards a resisted Swampert right there. So that is amazing. Shadow Typhlosion coming in clutch with a ton of energy. Okay, we got to deal with this Ninetales now. Ninetales running this Charm is going to be chunking away at the health of this Whiscash. We're going to steal this Skull. They do decide to shield. We get the debuff, forcing them to switch out. We use our Typhlosion here. We are very quickly getting to this Thunder Punch. Thunder Punch goes through, does a huge amount of damage. And here we're going to get that Incinerate to go through. So we're going to shield, hoping that the Incinerate does take him out. Doesn't take him out, but it allows us to get an additional Incinerate. So this Typhlosion took out the Poliwrath and has a ton of energy right now. They come back in with their Ninetales. We're going to throw in KO with our Blast Burn here. They decide to shield it, which is fine. They are able to farm us down, unfortunately. And now we know this Ninetales has a ton of energy. What do we think is the back here? This is the call that we have to make. We decide that we're going to go into our Cresselia to tank this move. Ends up being the Side Shock, and that is a resistant move. They decide to, okay, ends up being a Steelix. So that was a great call by us, using the Cresselia against the Ninetales so that when they switch out, we do have the Whiscash for this Steelix. Otherwise, it would have been a tough situation. Skull takes out the Steelix, and our opponent realizes their fate. We're going to be able to get to this Mud Bomb here to chip away, and that is GG's right there. That Ninetales ended up running a Side Shock, and what else would they be running? Maybe the I don't know. It should have been Weather Ball at that point, right? Unless they're running a really, really spicy move and running the Dazzling Gleam. But unlikely. Okay, next game we see the Shadow Dragonair versus the Whiscash. Dragons are kind of a problem, so we got to take down the dragons by committee. So we're going to throw this Mud Bomb here, switch out into the Cresselia. Let's see what they do here. They decide to stay in, throw some energy onto this Cresselia. Ends up being the Aqua Tail. We're going to build up some energy here. Looks like they're going to be able to get to another Aqua Tail. Doesn't quite... Okay, Body Slam. Doesn't matter. Body Slam takes us into the red. We're going to be able to throw this Grass Knot here to either KO or get the shield. Okay, interesting. They decided to shield. They really did not want to see that Cresselia, right? So, I guess with that information, we're going to come back in with the Whiscash. Whiscash here does tank the Aqua Tail. We're going to try to throw this Mud Bomb on good timing. Here, Mud Bomb decides to take out the Dragonair. We're going to switch out into the Typhlosion here. We have to try to beat the Dugong with 2 shield Typhlosion. Thunder Punch goes through, does a good amount of damage considering it's not a stab move. Same type attack bonus. We decide to shield the Drura, and that is the correct shield. We do get the farm down, which is huge. And now we're going to have a ton of energy to throw at their backline, and this is why they didn't want to switch out, because they were running double water in the back. That Cresselia was going to be able to take out both of their backline, because we were running Psycho. Sorry, we're going to run Psycho Cut and Future Sight as well. But look at this Typholsion going crazy, getting to all of these Thunder Punches, getting this Toxapex way low. We're going to shield here, hoping that we can farm down. Brian goes through, and we are able to farm down. So GG's to our opponent, able to win that game, basically with Shadow Typhosion with a ton of energy, taking their backline water Pokemon either knockout or extremely low, and then the Whiscash coming in to clean up. Here we got the Charjabug to deal with. Pretty decent matchup. We're going to stay in for now. They're going to throw a move, most likely going to be the X-Scissor. X-Scissor does chunk away at the Whiscash. We're going to throw the Skull here. Skull will potentially get the debuff, but also it does a good chunk of damage, getting it into the yellow before we get it into the yellow. But they go ahead and throw a X-Scissor, getting us into the red. We're going to throw in KO here with the Skull. They decided shield, so we're going to take that shield advantage, switch out, and we are met with a Goodra. Goodra is going to be good against our Typhlosion. We part ways with a Blastoise, but you can see we did get the Incinerate to go through, so that's why we shield it, and we do KO the Goodra. So ton of energy onto our Typhlosion. We're going to throw this Thunder Punch, ends up getting the shield anyways. We could have thrown the Blastoise, but we didn't know if we had it or not. And now they have no shields, but they have some energy with their Charjabug. So we're going to try to catch a move. Okay, they actually were aware of that, but because they decided to switch out as well, we're going to be able to get to the Skull. Does the Skull get us the debuff? Yes, it does. We do get the debuff, which is really beneficial because now these licks are doing less damage and their charge attacks are going to be doing less damage. Can we win this game with a debuff Lickitung and with our Cresselia with the shield? We go for the Future Sight to do as much damage as possible, trying to gauge our win condition here. Do we get to 2 Grass Knots or do we throw the Grass Knot immediately? Body Slam goes through, gets us into low yellow. Another Body Slam is going to income, and it does get us into the red. Here, we're going to try to build it to close to 2 Grass Knots. Then we're going to throw the Grass Knot, take out this Lickitung, and then we're going to try to get to our Future Sight. And yes, we do get to the Future Sight because they had to get to 2 moves. Future Sight does KO the Charjabug, and that is GG's right there. Ooh, that was close. Very nice play right there. Interesting end game indeed. The win condition right there was to try to build up a ton of energy with the Cresselia and forcing them to have to use their fast moves to take us down. Here we got to deal with this Shadow Dragonair because they did switch out, and we are going to use this Cresselia here now for the bulk, but also to make sure we win alignment. We know the Whiscash is going to be decent against the Lantern, so we're just going to use this Cresselia here to potentially get a shield or win the switch. They do decide to shield, so that's going to allow them to win the switch back. So now we have to try to gain a little bit of advantage with our Typhlosion here. We do decide to use a shield right here because it's most likely going to be the Surf. Surf would be able to take out our Typhlosion. We're going to build up a ton of energy. We're going to throw this Thunder Punch. This Thunder Punch gets this. Okay, they switch out into the Dragalge. Dragalge here is going to have to be getting to 2 moves, but they decide to throw the Aqua Tail, and we're going to shield here. We're going to be trying to throw this Mud Bomb to potentially KO or get this last shield. So we do get the last shield, and now it's the Rage. Do we get to another Mud Bomb? Yes! Wow! Ended up surviving that Dragon Tail right there and able to get to that Mud Bomb, taking out the Dragalge and allowing this Shadow Typhlosion to blast burn a Lantern into oblivion. So GG's to our opponent. Check out this team if you haven't already, and let us know if you enjoyed the video.